What if I told you that a lot of those healthy foods you're so careful to eat are actually just rotting inside your gut? It sounds nuts, I know. But today we're going to dig into a theory that flips pretty much everything we thought we knew about nutrition completely on its head.
You know the feeling, right? You try so hard to eat healthy, you're loading up on salads, whole grains, all the good stuff, and you just end up feeling bloated, gassy, and totally uncomfortable. And it's so easy to blame yourself, to think, what am I doing wrong? But what if? What if the problem isn't you at all? What if it's the so-called healthy food itself?
Okay, and this is where it gets, well, pretty wild. The theory basically says that fiber, the thing we're all told to eat more of, is actually just useless, indigestible waste. And get this, some of our favorite vegetables might actually be making our guts worse. I mean, these are some seriously radical ideas, so let's break down exactly what the argument is here.
All right, section 1. Let's talk about this idea of your healthy foods betrayal. It kind of frames this whole quest for health as maybe an act of self-sabotage.
So here's the core of it. All those foods you trust, we're talking beans, wheat, onions, even broccoli, they don't fully digest. Our bodies just can't break them all the way down. So instead, they travel all the way down to your colon and, well, they start to putrefy. Yeah, not a pretty picture.
Okay, so what is this putrefying process exactly? Let's zoom in and investigate the crime scene, your own gut. This next part breaks down what's being called the fermentation problem.
The main bad guys in this story, according to the theory, are these things called FODMAPs. Now, that's just a fancy name for certain plant carbohydrates that our bodies can't digest. You find them in super common foods like wheat, beans, onions, you name it. And since we can't digest them, they just march right down to our colon and basically become an all-you-can-eat buffet for the trillions of bacteria living down there.
And that's what kicks off this whole chain reaction. So this undigested plant stuff shows up. The bacteria just go to town on it, having a huge feast. And what's the byproduct of that feast? Gas. A lot of gas. In other words, these healthy foods are literally fermenting, basically rotting inside of you. And that's what causes all those awful feelings of bloating, gas, and just general digestive misery.
This quote really just nails the whole idea. Your gut has become a giant gas factory, and you are providing the raw materials. I mean, think about that. From this point of view, every time you eat that big salad or that bowl of oatmeal, you're not really nourishing your body. You're just shoveling more fuel into this internal gas factory.
Okay, that is a huge claim. So you got to ask, where's the proof? Well, this theory looks to the animal kingdom for some clues where, what you eat is literally a matter of life and death.
Just look at this simple comparison. Think about a cow. It eats grass all day, every day, and it produces a massive amount of waste, right? Now think about a lion. It eats a huge meal of meat, and then it might not produce any waste for days. The difference is just, it's night and day.
So, what gives? It all comes down to how efficient their digestion is. The argument here is that plants are mostly made of stuff we can't digest. That fiber. So of course it creates a ton of waste. But meat is almost entirely bioavailable. That means your body can absorb and use pretty much all of it. There's almost nothing left over.
Okay, so that brings us to the big question, right? Are we humans built more like the cow or more like the lion? Well, to answer that, proponents of this theory say we have to look deep into our evolutionary past, our ancestral blueprint.
Check this out. For over 2 million years, that's pretty much all of human history, we were apex predators. We thrived on meat and fat. The agricultural revolution, when we started eating grains and crops, that was only about 10,000 years ago. That is a tiny blip on the radar. The theory goes that our biology, our ancient genes, just haven't had time to adapt to this new plant-heavy diet.
And our own bodies seem to tell the same story. Look at our anatomy. We have one stomach chamber, and it's incredibly acidic, perfect for breaking down animal protein and killing any nasty bacteria in it, just like other carnivores. We do not have the 4-chambered stomach of a cow, which is a specialized fermentation tank for grass. The argument is that our digestive system from top to bottom is basically a blueprint for a meat eater. So, if our bodies are designed for meat, and all these plants are causing problems, what are you supposed to do about it? Well, it all boils down to a pretty simple experiment you can actually try on yourself. This brings us to the 7-day meat trial.
And this number right here, 100%, this is the key.
The claim is that meat and animal fats are nearly 100% bioavailable. What that means is your body absorbs and uses virtually everything. There's nothing left behind to cause trouble, to rot, or to ferment in your gut.
So the experiment they propose is super simple. For just 1 week, you stop feeding that gas factory. You cut out the grains, the beans, the fibrous veggies, all the stuff that's been causing the fermentation. And instead, you just nourish your body with high-quality meat and animal fats. The whole idea is to starve out those gas-producing bacteria while giving your body exactly what it can easily use.
And what can you expect after just 1 week? Well, the claims are pretty profound. Proponents say you'll see a huge reduction in bloating. Gas will pretty much disappear, and you'll get this mental clarity and a feeling of digestive peace that you might not have felt for years. It's basically pitched as a complete and total digestive reset.
So at the end of the day, this whole theory really challenges some of our deepest beliefs about what's healthy. It suggests this isn't about some new fad diet. It's about reconnecting with the way we're actually designed to eat, the diet that's supposedly encoded in our DNA. And it leaves us with a pretty powerful question to think about. What is your body truly hungry for? You have to wonder, are all our modern digestive problems just a big symptom of this mismatch between our ancient bodies and our modern plates?